Kat mana ni?
Now, welcome to Camp Sri Gading. Starting off with pterophytes. First, Platycerium bifurcatum. One of the main characteristics of this plant is the white, fertile fronds. The fronds are leathery in texture and have a thin fat-like covering of white hairs, which is important for gathering moisture. The spores are cinnamon-colored and located on the underside of branching frond tips. Cristella dentata is the second species that we found, also known as soft fern. The most distinctive characteristic is the presence of an elongated unicellular gland on the stalks of sporangia. Lastly, Pyrosia lanceolata. It has slender rhizomes, linear lens-shaped fronds, and round sore found at the tips of fronds extending to the entire blade. The next phylum, bryophytes. Firstly, Lycopodiella cernua. It has a creeping main stem, spreading branches, and erect shoots distant that somewhat resemble little pine trees. It does not have flowers and reproduces sexually by spores. It is also known as ground pines or creeping cedars. The next species is Campylopus introflexus. It's an acrocarpus, which means having clustered upright stems and the reproductive parts spawned at the tip of a stem. It is also a perennial moss, forming dense cushions or mats. It can be found in damp and shaded areas. The third one is Neckera pennata, sometimes called Neckermus in German. The mosses found at a tree trunk are flowerless and small. The flattened leaves are tongue-shaped or spatula-shaped and often unsymmetrical. They also have a double peristome, only at the bottom.
Now, we move on to gymnosperm. Our expedition in Camp Sri Gading did not manage to identify any gymnosperm in the area. This may have been due to the lack of gymnosperm species in Malaysia. However, we managed to identify some gymnosperm in UiTM. The first one is Norfolk Island pine, or also known as Araucaria heterophylla, which is a species of conifer plant brought in from Europe as an ornamental plant used to beautify the landscape. The tree is low-growing and can reach up to 65 meters and have scale-like leaves. Next, we have Platycades orientalis, or also known as Oriental arbovitae. This tree is an evergreen coniferous tree which typically grows as a dense conical to columnar tree up to 25 meters tall and tend to open up with age. And lastly is Podocarpus macrophyllus, or Buddhist pine. The plant is a coniferous small to medium in size and is an evergreen tree that can grow up to 20 meters tall.
Next is angiosperms. Silene alcoholis, known as moss champion, a perennial herb that grows in clump colonial, densely made together. The flowers are solitary at the tips of branches with purple petals. Hura crepitans, large tree, surface of the trunk has dark colonial spines. Monoecious, male red flowers with no petals. Fruit is dehiscent pumpkin-shaped capsules. Tabernaemontana divaricata is an evergreen round shrub with large glossy dark green leaf. Its flower petals are twisted like pinwheels. Fruit is an inconspicuous, dry and hard pod.